Hi everyone, welcome back to U-764 and her weekly patrol log. Here we are, just diving down to see if we can get anything on the hydrophone. We've completed our designated distance required for our patrol, and if you remember last time out we managed to sink that ship, and it was just around about 5,500 tons. Our minimum tonnage requirement for this patrol was 7,000 tons, so we're not too far away. One more ship will probably see that completed. The crew walking around doesn't really help, but nothing obvious jumping out of this there. So what we'll do, we'll surface the boat, we'll move along a little bit further, we'll dive down once again, and we'll do the same routine, trying to search for any contacts here in the western approaches. No, there's nothing there. Right, we'll continue on, we'll do this again in a little bit longer, and hopefully we'll find some contacts soon.
Ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt. Vermutlich ein Geleitzug.
Okay, we're now south of Ireland. A couple of days later, in fact. And we have contact. Multiple contacts. Brilliant. Right. And there's a fair chance that they are passing from our 90 degrees to the 270, as we are between them and Ireland, so they're most likely to going to be coming up the Irish Sea into Liverpool or one of the ports up there. So I think we'll probably go up to periscope depth and have a look. Okay, we've come up to have a look. And spin the periscope around.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Just reach periscope depth now. Right, let's straight ahead. Come on. A slow spin. Can we spot anything? These little cresty waves would be quite. Ships spotted. Ships spotted. Destroyer spotted. Right. Right, what we'll do, we'll leave there for a second and we'll just set the depth to about 20 meters and go on the hydrophone to move into position so they can't see our periscope. And then we'll bob up and have a quick shot at them. Okay, we're now at the map screen. You can see from the hydrophone where we are. So we're about 3,000 meters off their course, which is good. We've got a destroyer here, we've got a number of freighters here. This is being designated the SL Convoy, which is great. So 15 to 34 ships. Crikey, that is a lot. How are torpedoes? Get them warmed up. Get them warmed up. We need those torpedoes warmed up. Make sure on blue lighting. Yes, good. Right. I think we're going to wait for this destroyer. It is always tempting to fire a shot and try and take the destroyer out straight away. But you know he's not the only escort there. But it is tempting. I grant you that. So, we've gone all stop. We're sitting here 15 meters down, waiting for the destroyer to pass us by, and then we'll loose some torpedoes at those ships as quick as we can and then dive down. What is the depth here? 150 meters. Ooh. Okay, not that deep. Okay, here we are. A little bit of time has passed. The first destroyer has moved it by. We've got a second destroyer coming in. So what we'll need to do is pop up, fire probably these ships here. Tanker down there, look. And go with it. Right. We can hear alarms going off. They've spotted the periscope straight away. Look at that. Right, let's lock onto this ship here, if it'll allow me to. Right. Get her identified. There we go. It's a C3. Recognize. And a C3. What is the length of that ship? This is going to be a 2 torpedo one. So it's 145 meters. Right. Let's get that locked on. Actually, before we do that, let's get angle of bow calculated. Hydrophone contact. Yep. Yep. Alright, let's get that onto the front of the periscope is. Gives us a range as well of 1,054 meters. And 86. 86. So 86 to red. Why is it being a pain? 86, there we go. Right, lock thing. So it was 145, so it's 110, oh, that's 150, so we're 145 there. We haven't done the speed calculation or range, so let's do that next. Let's get range done. $1,044. The other one was 1,050, wasn't it? So that's not too bad at all. Let's do the old-fashioned way. Not my favourite way of doing speed, but... And let's get tubes 1 and tubes 2 flooded.
Rohr 2, bewässern!
Rohr 1 bewässert. Rohr 2 fertig.
Now that second destroyer, which was to our 90 degrees, or to our 3 o'clock, whichever terminology you want to use, at 1 o'clock. There we go. He's coming. He's closing in. It would seem. Right, halfway. Come on. Now we know the convoy will probably be all doing the same speed, so only one speed calculation we need to do. We should have done this on the hydrophone, really, in the build-up. Oh, that was an interesting wave. Quite have folded in on itself. I'm going to say about 4 or 5 knots. They don't seem to be going particularly quick. It does have deck guns. They haven't spotted me then. 3 knots. Okay. Right. So let's... Oh yeah, they know we're here. I'm going to reduce that a little bit. I'm going to fire early.
Los!
Right. Got another one there. Where's that destroyer? They said 1 o'clock, but that's the destroyer coming right at me, isn't it? Right. Let's quickly lock onto this one. So if we put 60 in. Yeah, I know. Get that locked and tracked. Same as length is going to be the same. Speed is going to be roughly the same. And it was 2,000 meters, wasn't it? So okay, that's set to 2,000 meters. Lovely. 3 and 4.
Bewässern!
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Rohr 4, bewässern!
As soon as they go,
Rohr 3 bewässert. Rohr 4
fire.
Los!
Right, down emergency. Fast, full speed ahead. Right, welcome back everyone. We've now dived down, we're coming past 125 meters. Leveling off around here because the seabed is only about 130 to 140 meters, obviously it varies. You can hear the pulsing of the destroyer's engine as she's going full chat searching for us. The first destroyer, the head of the convoy, has also turned around and is heading back towards us. But out of the 4 torpedoes we fired, the first 2 successfully hit the C3 freighter and sunk it pretty quickly. The second 2 torpedoes, out of 3 and 4, fired at the second C3 freighter. First torpedo hit, the second torpedo went behind, or I think it went behind anyway. Obviously, after seeing the first ship being struck, they've changed their course and speed, which has meant one of the torpedoes has missed, and she's currently still afloat. He's getting closer and closer and closer. Brace for depth charges anytime. Right, let's quieten things down. Let's switch the gyro compass and everything not necessary off.
Schiffsschrauben. Direkt über uns hergelei.
Okay, those destroyers passed over us. No depth charges were dropped. So we've quieted the sub down as much as we possibly can. We've got manual steering on. I'm even whispering myself. We're sitting down here 125 meters.
Sonarwellen, Herr Kaloi.
Ah, I spoke too soon. We're near the seabed, so hopefully we may be difficult to spot. Welcome back, everyone. We still have 2 destroyers for company. There was also a corvette that seems to have left. We've got a little bit of water creeping into the boat here. They obviously got some apparatus to track us, but AXO. They're just stalking us at the moment. I wonder if they're gonna try and keep us under here, almost like a siege mentality. The convoy has slipped away. They've kept us under the water, behind the convoy, unable to do any further damage. And these 2 are just staying here, hounding us. Well, they're not going for the kill, it would seem, at this stage, which is great. Our air is getting low. We may need to stir the tanks in a minute, get the ventilation going. That will, of course, generate noise. So I'm holding off as long as possible. Or if they do on their search patrols, if they get a little bit further away from the boat, I may switch them on for a few moments just to get a bit of the air circulating. If they continue to be here hounding us, I think what we need to do, we'll need to go up from our 130 odd meters we're currently at, up to probably around about 70. I think I'll probably go around about 70 meters or 80 meters. We'll drop a decoy and then we'll sink back down to 130 meters, and hopefully they'll hound and chase the decoy rather than us and allow us to slip away. That's what we've got in the plans at the moment. We're just staying down here, quiet as we can, keeping an eye on the oxygen. It's gone quiet. That means the destroyers have moved sufficiently away that we can't hear them, so it might be a good time to stir the tanks. Let's get that done. Okay, we stirred the tanks a little bit, got some air circulating, and now we're just rising to about 80 odd meters.
100.
Just coming past 100 meters there. We're going to release the decoy, and then we're going to sink back down again. Change course. Right, let's get into position. Right. Okay, we've got the decoys from storage. Let's head back to the workshop and the rear torpedo room. Let's see if we can fire this thing. Decoy away. Okay, let's go back down to 150 meters. Change course. Hopefully they'll chase that decoy rather than us. Yeah, splashing through the water here. Take us down.
100.
Right, coming down to 140 meters. 130 meters even. That is our decoy. Good, so our decoy is making lots of noise. Oh. And hopefully they're going directly over us to get that. It's going to be tight. Hi guys, another decoy has been sent out. We have dived even deeper. We're now at dangerous depths. left just to try and break the hold that these destroyers have on us. They just will not leave us be. The water in here is getting quite high now. There we go. We're coming down into the red. 170 meters. The men been down here for hours now. Tensions are getting high. Wits are getting strained. It is a tough period for the men. Some of them are coming through it very well. Some not so much, and they need a bit more encouragement from the Exile. If we can just break them. These convoy is long gone. Just cannot get rid of this destroyer shadow we have. I suppose they're close enough to home waters that they can spend their time here and faff around as much as they like. But fingers crossed we can get out of this. Okay, we've just given the order to calm down, to come up to 150 meters. Being down here at 170 was too much. We've got a bit of a burst. We've got the engineer Zap working on it right now. Get that fixed. Need some light. See what you're doing. That's the hatches. There we go. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Well done, Zap. Right. So we've got some water in there. But now rising a little bit. Coming back into... yeah, come on. Let's bring us up. Oh, and here we are, breathing the free air once again. Goodness me, it's now December the 15th. Early doors, coming up to 6 AM in the morning. We were down under the water for a long old time. Stirred the tanks many a times with the ventilation going. We got away with it. And eventually, after a couple more decoys and a couple more going silent, we were able to get rid of our destroyer shadow, and we are freely moving again. We're actually heading north towards Ireland just to try and get out of the course of the destroyer search pattern. We're just going to get some distance between us and them, and just take a breath and let everyone calm down. The men are strained, they're exhausted, their wits were, put to the edge on that one. And as the light comes over the horizon, dawn is calling. Fantastic. So, interestingly, despite being underwater, being hunted by those destroyers for hours after hours after hours, not a single depth charge was dropped. Now, I guess you could argue once our initial strike on the convoy had happened, the destroyers did what they needed to do. They kept us away from the rest of the ships. So in that way, they succeeded. So, but we also managed to sink one ship and damage another. So we'll call that a score draw. Now, we've just had notification from the radio man that we've got a message from the BDU. So let's go and have a listen. Get the pumps on in here as well. Yeah. Now that we've serviced the boat. There you go. Alright, what's the message? Okay, so the BDU just wanted an update. Nothing much more than that. Right, we're going to continue our patrol and see if we can hunt another contact down. Weather's turned. It's got very nasty. You got the hatches closed? Yeah, I think so. Good. Water has been drained from here, which is good. Right, we're going to press on and try and find some more contacts.
Wechseln auf E-Motor.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Hi everyone, we've just gone to periscope depth and we've got some contacts on the hydrophone. And you can see I'm just doing a speed check, so hopefully we don't give away our position through the periscope. Now, you'll notice straight away they've got a tanker in this group, and it does appear to be an unescorted group. So, after all that hard times earlier, we may get some reward.
Herr Kaloi, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt. Vermutlich
Thanks, Eric. Yes, we were aware. Thank you very much. So, all going well, it would be nice to have a scan of this convoy and see if we can't take it out completely. Obviously that will be a bit of deck gun action, but I'm sure we are all looking forward to that. There. Lovely. Right, so that is 170 meters, which will put it at 5.5 knots. So we'll go 6 knots. Wonderful. We're up here waiting for the attack. Right, there they are. Let's lock onto that tanker then. There's the most forward leading ship. Then we've got another Empire class ship there. It's oh, these are C3s perhaps. Interesting. Okay. Nice. Right, let's target the tanker to begin with. Let's get her identified. Let's get a little bit more height. Risk a little bit more height just so I can see what it is. No, it's not that. It's close. Be nice if they sort these, you know, you could have a little category of escorts, heavy, you know, capital ships, tankers, freighters, that kind of thing, just so a bit of quickness, so we don't have to go through the entire inventory. Dale class, 12,000 tons. That's what it is. 147. Nice. Right, let's get this locked on then. So 147. There we go. Right, so the angle of barrier is 39. There we go. So we'll lock onto that, track that. That's good. Let's get range. 1120 meters. Speed. We worked down at 6 knots, didn't we? So I'll put that. It's 5.5 knots, so 6. Let's get that up to 6. Well, we'll go 5.5 because we can on this, I think. Or thereabouts, which is good. 147 meters, good. You've got the range in. Angle about, good. That's all ticking along nicely. We'll get tubes, T1 and a T1.
Rohr 1 bewässern.
We'll get 2 torpedo tubes at this tanker.
Rohr 1 bewässert. Rohr 2 fertig.
Dispersion of 5.8 degrees. Okay, I'll reduce that a little bit. 4.9. That's grand. Right. And then it's just a matter of waiting. We could have a look. Oh, that looks like a... Oh. Okay, that's got guns on it. That'll be a torpedo one for sure. So has this got guns on it? Ah, that's why it doesn't have an escort. This is a fairly well defended... These C3s or Liberties perhaps? Okay, well we'll wait for this one to come in and then we'll fire. Actually not too long to wait yet. Let's get that in the centre of the ship though, that always helps. Well, we've got the periscope as low as we can without it being interfered with. Getting ready to fire. Let's just do another range, as it's a little bit of time has passed. About there. Just under 1,000 meters. Stand by to fire this time, it would seem. Fire.
Los!
Tube 1 away. Tube 2 away. Right, Tube 3,
Rohr
flood.
3, bewässern.
Oh, so faffy. 38.5, that'll do. Right, we're going to keep the speed the same. We need to identify her. So she's got 2 forward masts and 1 rear. Actually, is she an E-class? She could be. Yeah, I think she is. So she's got 100 meter length, hull length. Let's get that set. And with that, let's get her range. $2,000 meters. Okay. Put that in there. That should be 6 anyway. Almost ready to fire. Okay, I'm going to fire early. Tube 3.
Los!
Because there's a good chance that they may vary as soon as the torpedoes strike the oil tanker right in front of us.
Feindliches Schiff wurde getroffen.
There we go. 1 hit.
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
Serious damage. Or maybe one
Geladen.
would have done. Second one's just gone in, I think. Has it? Sparks flying.
Der Aal ging daneben, Herr Kaloy.
Oh, it actually missed. The second torpedo missed because they've slowed down. Is that it? Anyway, that tanker seems to be in right trouble. We've got a third torpedo heading towards this freighter over there. There goes the tanker. Okay, 1 torpedo is enough for a tanker, it would seem. I don't regret firing 2 though.
Rohr 2 geladen.
No, they're probably changing course and speed. So that was an early fired torpedo anyway. So over 2 kilometers, there's quite a bit of wiggle room for an arrow in there. Okay. Should be nearing the ship now if it's on target. Meanwhile, we got tubes 1 and 2 being reloaded. I think it might be a miss.
Rohr 3 geladen.